Okay, members and friends, I'm going to keep making videos. I said stay quiet. Shh, don't distract me. He has to learn how to stay quiet. When it's his time to stay quiet. What is this?
It's my hair.
That's your hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, members and friends, life goes on, right? So we got this little YouTube war going on here because some Canadians and Americans, but we gotta have to blame the Canadians on this one because it's some Canadians, are just, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're taking advantage of the situation. It's my little grandson's picture, and they're maybe their intentions are in the right spot, but I feel like we're at Occupy Wall Street with that radical group that kind of distracted away from the issues of homelessness and the economy and environmental issues and that type of stuff, right?
Now look at this.
I will try not to have this video go on too long. Here you go. So, people still ignoring me, people. Like, I don't know what it is, but, if people really want to do something,
It's a book.
I have set up a means for that to happen.
A book.
I know, but let's not distract Nana. And, I got the trust accounts, got the nonprofit, got the venue to go into the United States and participate there and, bring in a continental, national, I'm not looking for global, but, definitely a national consensus when it centers around families, the community, and the environment, and, the issues that face the planet in our geographical locations, because issues that face the planet come in from different directions, as most things in life, right? So, there's things that we can do to alleviate certain situations, and then there's things that we can't really do on a minute level as an individual, because we're just, we just don't have the resources. We don't have the resources, we don't have the skills, we don't have the technology, so that kind of puts us in a spot where we become vulnerable. It's kind of like that free man movement, There's vulnerable people out there that are very adamant to see change with certain things, and, sometimes, life can be hard, right? And there's lots of, good and bad over the course of a lifetime, and, some people, they just don't have that network of support to be able to, get out of ruts and that type of stuff. So anyway, I've been buying fish, salmon. I just want to point this out because this has been really tasty stuff here. And food is very expensive. It doesn't really matter.
I see the fish.
There's the fish. Food is very expensive. Well, hold on here. There we go. Food is very expensive, right?
And
doesn't matter where you go. Hold on here.
Look.
Yeah, he's trying to put up his paper too, right? And here we got at $5.50, $5.50 a kilogram, which is about 2.2 pounds. So it's working under, $2 a pound or $2.10 a pound or something like that. And no, can you just stay quiet, please? Okay, stay quiet, really, because I do this throughout the day, off and on, and you got to learn to respect what Nana says.
Something's missing.
Yes, I'm sure something's missing, but you can figure it out. So anyway, as you can see, it's just pieces of the fish, right? I got 2 little packs. I got this one for $4.90. That's a lot of fish. Trust me, I've been buying this stuff when I find it. And then I got a little bit more here for $3.54. Hold on, there you go. And this is just fish ends, and I fry them up in straight up butter, very little salt, and it's so good. Do I worry about Fukushima radiation contaminating the fish? Well, yeah, Oh yeah, you know. And when you go off and you buy canned fish, whether it's tuna, salmon, whatever, the price of fish since that time.
Sun.
Yes, very nice. This is the sun, people. Um, since that time has gone up threefold. Now, is that because of Fukushima? And, you know, the government is trying to protect us from being radiated in our food intake? Or is it the economy out of control? I would lean it more towards the economy out of control before I would blame it on Fukushima. Now, is that to say that this piece of fish and this other packet here, whether it's a whole fish or pieces of a fish or just fish ends like I bought, because I find this to be quite satisfying. It does the job, and it provides those omega-3 amino acids, right, that, you know, are good for you. And it's fresh. Is this radiated? Well, you know, quite possibly it could be to some degree, because all in all, the planet is polluted from north, south, east, west, from, you know, what's up in the jet streams. Maybe the northern hemisphere may have a bit more floating around radiation up in that, you know, through jet stream. It rains down in pockets. But, you know, life is risks. You know, you got to take risks in life. And so I've been buying this because it's affordable for my family.
Dark.
This way.
Dark.
I'm well aware of Fukushima.
Dark.
I'm a firm believer.
His name is
I'm
Dark.
a firm believer, and I'll put it
It's
on camera.
dark.
I'll put it on camera. I am a firm believer that, you know, somehow, some way, we are being affected by those nuclear plants up at Fukushima that are just, you know, teetering with solutions on how to control the problem that, you know, could be catastrophic at any moment. I have plastic to plastic up the windows downstairs in the event fuel pool 4 collapses, and those spent fuels, if they haven't removed them by now, because I'm not too sure, all of a sudden go into mass criticality, or whatever you call it, where it goes into fusion, and you're just going to get a great big plume of radiation, and that radiation, due to the jet stream, will eventually find its way to the west coast. And it will affect some people more than others, because that's the way radiation works. It comes down in rain, and it comes down in pockets. It's an isotope that likes to attract to itself, right? So, way before humans were walking the planet and the world was forming, you know, the reason that we have pockets of uranium and whatever it is that they mine to use as the fuel for a nuclear plant is because in those days radiation was natural, because there is natural radiation. Right? No, let me finish, because I'm on a roll here, right? It would travel with the water, and it would accumulate. It accumulated. It binded to itself. It binded to itself, right? So I don't know where I'm going with this, because my little grandson keeps distracting me, right? So what I'm trying to say is, when it rains, there will be inner clouds to some degree at some point from somewhere in the world, and including Fukushima, pockets of radiation, isotopes that have binded to themselves, and when it rains heavy, they're going to come down. And they will affect some people, because some people will get caught up in that rain. Other people will be inside their homes. I know this for a fact, because my family in April of 2011, when the big rains came up into the Surrey Delta area of the west coast of Canada, British Columbia, I happened to be out and doing some spring cleanup with my daughter, and we were the only two people that got bloody noses. Now, people, I don't get bloody noses. I don't. And I can't even think when my youngest daughter got bloody noses. But when we came back from spring cleanup, you know, filling up the car with miscellaneous stuff that people didn't want, and the big rains came at the tail end of the day, and I happened to be out there, you know, and I got wet, and my daughter kind of came into contact with it and whatever, came home, you know, kids are running in and out of the house, my dad's wife. Long story short, there was 9 people in the house, and 9 people got sick. And it wasn't a flu. It was not a flu because we had my middle daughter had patchy rashes. My dad's wife had patchy rashes. We all, 9 people, were lithless. That's where you don't want to move. And we slept for like 2-3 weeks. Nobody wanted to eat. All our lips were dry, right? Again, some of us had patchy, little rash there. Myself and my youngest daughter had bleeding noses because we were actually out in that rain and in contact with that rain when it was coming down in torrents. It's okay. And diarrhea, that's another one. But it's the idea that with the dehydration, when people get flus, they don't instantly within days get you just don't wake up and be dehydrated and then sleep all day long and have patchy red skin and be totally lithless and don't want to eat and all of a sudden start developing bleeding nose when you've never had them before and there's no reason to have one other than what could have provoked that. So I do believe that we are getting rained on at some point throughout time over the course of the Fukushima radiation disaster and the accident, and I am still preparing around in the event of, I'm trying to be a little diplomatic here, people, right? Because this is some serious stuff. Some people take it more serious than others. What we need to do is find a middle line in there, right? So maybe I can help with that middle line. Because, we can all point fingers and, oh, Japan's murderous, they just spewing out all this stuff and they're not asking for international help for the community to come in there and deal with this, this pending accident that could get worse. And that's the thing, it could get worse. And the more we're aware of that and the more we prepare for that and the more that we can stop that from happening, I think the more relaxed we will be as a society and as a community and as a nation. Because it's going to take, it's going to take awareness and it's going to take participation. And right now it's a pissing contest out there on the YouTube with, various individuals who very well probably do have their, their hearts in the right spot, because I know my heart's been in the right spot. And, we all express ourselves in different ways and, we all go about things in the best way that we have available to our resources to, to try and make that difference and reverse the degradation that we bring about as humans on this planet, right? And so I don't want to get up on that bandwagon because I don't feel, first of all, that I have to, because I already have a legit nonprofit. And my nonprofit was founded back in 1999, and applications started in on 2000 and 2001, and everything's fully registered. The only thing is that if you were to get in contact with the registers of companies in British Columbia, Victoria, they're going to tell you I'm not in good standing as a foundation, and that's only because I haven't handed in that paperwork yet. Because as you can see here, I don't know if you can see this, members and friends, but there's all the paper. See, there's all the paper there. I got a big yard. I got a lot of problems right now. And, I have to pick my priorities, and winter's coming, and food was limited in terms of, canning blackberry and apples, and now you can see I'm going to be doing plums and a little bit of grapes, and there's still more plums up on that tree, and I still want to do some more blackberry jam because the jam I made is so good. And yes, I do eat salmon. I didn't buy salmon for a while. I actually canned some salmon last year, because I'm always worried you better get it now, put it in storage now, because, there might be a day when that number 4 goes boom and the rest of them follow right behind, and we're not going to have a choice. Right now, we still have a choice. We can either eat the salmon or we can just say, well, no, it's poison because of the radiation, and settle for that and be completely divided on the truth. Because what is the truth? Because right now the Canadian government isn't making that financial investment to discover the truth, right? So it's left up to the people, and we're all having a pissing contest out here. The only thing is I ain't pissing nowhere, because I've already established the foundation and the precedents around, solutions. And people can ignore me on that one. That's fine. It's not going to stop progress, even if the progress is at a snail's pace, right? I admit I'm tired. I admit I'm tardy, maybe I'm rebelling a little bit, just to show people that I don't need to fill out that form and pay the $15 because the money's in the bank anyway. I just have to cut the check and sign it. That's it. And then we're in good standing. That's the only thing that prevents me from being in good standing is just paying my annual registration members dues to the registers of companies. But the thing is, I need somebody else to do that for me. And don't do it for me. Do it for the foundation. I'm talking. No, please, just stay quiet. Nana is talking. This is not going to be very long.
I talk.
Okay, you talk.
Okay.
Say something.
This is what is this?
I don't know. You tell me. You made it.
ABCs.
ABCs. Okay, let Nana finish now. All right? So, I'm trying not to get mad here, right? I got stung today. Didn't even expect it. And I'm developing now an allergic reaction to wasp bites because last year I got stung, or the year before, and I mean it was on my leg, so it's a little more meatier, and it did swell up and everything. But today I got stung on my thumb right here, and then I got another one about 5 minutes, 10 minutes later. Well, not 10 minutes. I'm talking, okay? Please, Andre, I'm talking. No, you stay quiet. My grandson has to learn to stay quiet. So anyway, and it got me here because I was being chased by them, right? I was trying to pull something out of the ground. I didn't know hornets live in the ground. I thought they make their little nests above ground, right? So next thing you know, I see these hornets. I run away. They chase me, sting me there, and I'm like, and I'm like this for like 5 minutes, running around trying to get rid of them because they kind of swarmed on me, right? And then it stung me here, and I get back in the car, and I'm, going home, and all of a sudden I'm getting itchy, man. And I was itchy from the bottom of my feet into my eyebrows, on top of my head, underneath my armpit, my back, my legs, my hands. I mean, that went on for a little while, right? Finally, I phoned up poison control. And I said, well, what's going on? Because I've been stung by hornets before, and I've never had this reaction where I'm like scratching, nonstop scratching for like a half an hour. It was just getting ridiculous, right? And turns out I'm developing an allergy to these things, and I have to be more careful the next time. So, as you can see, my hand is like completely swollen, completely, and it's going up in here, right? You can see, see some difference. It hurts. It hurts in here. It hurts right in here. And the sting came from over here on the finger, right? And this one here is just swelling up and red. But I'm not itchy all over my body anymore because they told me to take some gravel, and for, lucky for me, there was some baby gravel, children's gravel in the house. So that's what I'm taking right now. And but yeah, no, I don't know what it's going to take to get people to understand that they have, I don't want to say it's the perfect opportunity, but it's one of the better opportunities out there to make a difference. I don't know how to get the ball rolling because I'm still stuck in, making the path for it to roll in terms of the website, Not every page is updated because there's only so many hours in a day, and I can only do so much HTML because it can get very daunting, and I don't use cascading style sheets and all that fancy dancy stuff. I'm just with your basic HTML with long hyperlinks and everything's just whatever, right? So it takes me longer, but when they are working, they're working, but not every page is connected. Just like I haven't, we have the foundation. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to cancel it. They're just going to, ask me to write they're going to send me a warning letter saying, well, did you either have your annual general meeting or did you not? And if you did, you need to file it. And if you didn't, you need to write a letter explaining blah, 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 because this happened once before where I didn't have an annual general meeting, and they needed confirmation, and I still had to pay my annual dues, right?
Say start.
And but outside of that, people are just running around right now scrambling, forming their little groups, and stealing each other's ideas, just changing a few words in here. You think you were dealing with a bunch of politicians on YouTube the way people act sometimes. Because like I said, I've been working on my nonprofit since 1999. I've been coming into contact with all kinds of different people with all kinds of different agendas. And, you know, their operating methods are quite similar to what I'm seeing right now with, oh, well, okay, I'll just give you an example. You know, no names mentioned, but this little tide pool project kind of seems you know, odd that I got that little ocean pond in my X club. Not that there's any similarities, but I mean, who is these people doing it for? Are they doing it for themselves, or are they doing it for the kids? Are they doing it for them? You know, are they doing it for the community? You know, what is their agenda for the community? So you awake everybody. Everybody knows that you shouldn't eat salmon now because the government says it's okay, right? I mean, why are they doing it? Who are they supporting? What is the concept of what they're, you know, where do they plan on going with it? Like, what are their solutions? So they proved a point. Like, I think it's going to take little more than just a smaller group of people with, again, perhaps good intentions to come to the common denominator of the real problems that are facing our Pacific Ocean. Because we're not just dealing with radiation. We're dealing with different types of pollution that once the big tankers show up, because China's hungry for energy, I mean, we're open to another Van Valdez, right? The oil spill that happened up in Alaska there, or whatever it was, back in 1986, that they still have residual problems with the oil along the beaches affecting the wildlife.
Okay, man.
So, anyway, I'm just rattling now. And I'm going to make this kale chips for my grandson. And I will put that in with this little video at the end. That's just my style. Because people really, I am tired. I am tired of this nonprofit. Like, I don't know what people want from me. Like, I got all these little bank statements here again. You know, I just sat up in here yesterday for long-term placement assessment for my grandson. Because he's, you know, he needs to settle down. And the lady that has been helping me with this, right? I sat there, she asked me questions, I asked the questions, and as I was doing that, I was opening up, again, all this stuff. All this nonprofit paperwork, all these bank statements. She didn't ask me what they were. I just told her they were bank statements to the nonprofit.
Okay, Nana.
She didn't ask me how much money was in there, because it's not about money all the time, people. Right? You see, that's the thing. It's not always about money. Right? So keep that in mind when you watch my videos. Right? Because I'm ready to retire anytime. But we need some serious-minded people out there that, you know, got their priorities in the right spot. And again, these people that are, you know, doing their fundraisers for expeditions that are whatever, like, again, like, what's it going to prove? In the great grand, is it going to help me to determine whether I can eat this safely with my family? Is this what this guy's going to show me if he goes and, you know, does his 60-day expedition, right? Or anything else that people are trying to do at this point in life.
Okay.
Right?
Give me.
Okay. Peace out.
Give me. Yes. I'll talk.
Okay, say goodbye.
Okay, and I have water. Here.
Hello?
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
Nana, I'm talking.
Okay.
I'm talking is better. Let's go talk.
Huh?
I'm going to talk is better.
Okay, hold on. All right, have a turn. Hold on. Go ahead, talk. Okay, talk.
Okay. And this is this. This is ABCs.
ABCs? Okay, say thank you, members and friends.
And doors.
Okay, say thank you, members and friends.
I take care of my friends.
Okay.
Goodbye. Anyway, my turn?
Yes, you wait your turn. Okay, members and friends. So, I got stung by a hornet today. You know, I'll put it up. I'll show you in a minute. This hand's all swollen. Right? Here's my other hand. You can see it's normal. And over here, it's all red and puffy.
What is this?
These are plums. And there's still a few more. So I'm going to be making plum jam. This is from the tree in the front that was cut down 2 years ago. It only took 2 years for fruit to produce itself.
I want to try it.
No, not yet. I'll give you some in a minute. And then this little pear tree I have in the back definitely needs to be pruned this year. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I tried to hire somebody to come. No, I'm talking. Please don't interrupt. Okay? Please don't interrupt.
Please.
In a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, I tried to hire somebody to come and prune this tree for me. But these guys just say it's a little job and they're not interested. So I don't know. I may have to do it for myself.
Oh, I see an ant.
You see an ant. So anyway, that'll be a little bit of pear with some plum. And I'm going to make some kale chips here. This is organic kale that I bought from Safeway today. So I'm going to make you some chips, okay? So stay quiet, all right? And then we got a little bit of grapes here that I'm going to make jam with in combination with that. So hold on a minute. Okay, so here we go, members and friends. My daughter is helping me. My beautiful daughter is helping me. So, in discussion of Fukushima and all this other stuff, the best thing that you can do, right, at this point in time, for, you know, on a micro
still on
level.
that radiation, though.
Well, yeah, there's a big YouTube fight going on right now, and I'm not really in it, but I've been opinionated about it because it's a non-profit. I've been working on this stuff for a long time, so I feel like, you know, I have a right to stand up for the non-profit and what it represents, right? So in the meantime, you know, if people want to do something, the best thing that they can do right now in the immediate, on a micro level, is start looking after themselves better, and the best way that you can do that is by the foods that you eat. Right? So I'm making kale chips for the first time for my family, and my daughter will try it before she goes to work and tell me if it's a good idea. I'm just keeping it simple. I actually wanted kale crackers, but that's another recipe, right? So we got the red kale here and the green kale here, right? I bought them organic, so I'm using organic kale. I opened up a brand new jar of grapeseed oil just for, I have an old can here of olive oil, but it's kind of like been around for a while. So I'm just going to use a little bit of grapeseed oil. This is how you do it, people. You take a little bit of oil there, you kind of spread it in there, pour it around, and then you do maybe about 2 tablespoons or so, right? And you take your favorite spice. You can make your own favorite spice. One day I plan on making some spices here. That will be another video. But in the meantime, I'm just going to use something simple that I get in bulk that's really, really tasty, right? And you sprinkle that around. You sprinkle that around, and then you take your hands and you mix it all up, and then you put it in a baking dish like this, right? But maybe you spread a little oil on it first, and then you put it in there. You put it in the oven. There's 2 different ways to do it. You can do it on high on 450 for 5 minutes to crisp them up, or you can cook them a little slower, which I'm going to do. I'm going to start at 350, put them in there for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit for about 20 minutes to half an hour. And then hopefully my daughter will be able to take some kale chips to work when she goes. And she'll tell me if she likes it. And if my grandson likes it, and my daughter likes it, and I like it, and my dad likes it, I know everybody else in the house will like it. And that's something that we'll probably start bringing in as a staple diet, right? And, you know, I'm going to get more into juicing and stuff like that. See, members and friends, do you see my hand? It's all swollen. And same thing with over on here on this side. It's all swollen. So that's one of the first things the Poison Control Center asked me, are you healthy? Well, I'm not exactly as healthy as I'd like to be, but hopefully, you know, this will start kind of boosting up the immune system, because as I said previous to this, you know, you remember when they had that fallout? You remember, because you're the one that had the rash.
I have cheese.
In April, when Fukushima, Japan, had the explosions in March. The big rains came in April, right? You remember you had dry lips and you were tired and sleepy, and I was telling you don't go jogging in the rain with school because the radiation was coming down in those days with the rain. And you had dried lips, and she was the one with the patchy skin because she was going back from school. And not only that, but they were having them out there running in the rain, and I was so freaked out. So anyway, we're all affected.
Cheese.
I don't have cheese. Can you stay quiet? This is what I go through every day. Stay quiet.
Andre?
No, you need to learn to stay quiet. Shh. No, stay quiet. You wait. I'm talking.
Andre?
Anyway, this is a little game that he likes to play, and if we're not careful, it can turn into a tantrum.
Andre?
Because my pop is bigger than his pop, and he doesn't quite understand that one yet. Right? So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, eat better, people. You know, you're going to have to build up your immune system. All right. I'll be back for the end result, and then I'm going to see if I can squeeze this onto my hard drive and upload it, and after that I'm going to have to go find a different computer, because as much as I try and take out of this one's maxed out, and I got another one over there, but I don't know. That's an old XP too, so they've done something with the old XP now. You have to pay another X amount of dollars just to get it reformatted to go online. So we'll see in a bit. Okay, so there they are, going in the oven now. And then the stems I'll make soup with tomorrow. Oh, there's that salmon. A little bit of salt on it, not too much. It's pretty meaty. Like, I've been pretty impressed with these salmon ends. It works out fine for me. And then we got some green tomatoes. I'm going to try and do some canning here with some green tomatoes. I don't know, it depends on what happens to my hand tomorrow. Hopefully the swelling will stop. It just seems to keep going up my arm here, so I don't know. This is just a little something. Those kale chips aren't quite done yet, so I just wanted to point out the salmon, though. So there's the end result. Green tomato, a little celery, corn, peas from the garden, a little bit of chili pepper, fresh tomato there. That's one of those beefsteak tomatoes. A little bit of bread. And then the fish, and my daughter has some to take to work. And a little glass of V8 juice. Oh yes, and most importantly, these kale chips that I made, which aren't so bad. I still want to do the crackers though. All right.